aggressive, especially when there's a Rakan attempting to do stuff, and Poppy can just say, no, you're not allowed to do stuff. That is going to be pretty powerful as well.
I have that exhaust still.
Oh no, cannon just goes wide. So Keen, let's see whether he's going to be all right. Not going to be able to get the stun from the heroic charge, but that is still going to be enough. Top of the morning to you, does say Peanut.
To make some impacts in mid lane, right? Teleported there, gave them grub control. Now he's got a nice flank angle here.
Oh dear. He is just going to face plant. He's level 5 as he uses Ruler as a bit of a taxi, but it's not going to help him. That is Canyon getting a kill back. As the grub does go down, so Peanut is at least, it's a flanked angle, not a flank angle.
Yeah.
There are different options here. There's the flash in from Duro, and I think there was a Viper there, but he has gone missing. And Peanut not even going to get the ult off as he looks to clear out this wave. So now the gold lead is Gen.G's.
It's a big lead. So Viper,
the plate going over to Viper though.
Yeah, Viper's getting money. So is Ruler, but they're going to go for more.
Double pulverize is fantastic. The equalizer comes down. That is such a dead Gwen. Akaruan going to cut him up, and it's the Yunara picking up the second kill. As Zeus also to the lead.
I was going to say this is twofold really bad for all man. Zeus has TP as well.
Wow, imagine if he just kills Ruler here. As Zeus is able to actually land those harpoons, but the barrier comes through. Is Zeus actually going to die? No, he's not. He's got a scrappy shield, and he's able to grab the 1v1 kill. That is a killing spree here for Zeus.
Really the only place that Gen.G have an edge anywhere on this map right now. And you know, I was gonna...
Whoa. Chovy? Whoa. That was just an unforced error. As Duro is going to come on over, but Chovy had to use his flash.
So I guess the idea was he was thinking about going for a shove into an engage from Duro there because he had his quickness, but... Like, that's the only thing I can think of. I'm not even sure.
I think he just didn't press W.
Yeah, I don't know. Then he TP's down and solos Ruler here. It's a close fight, but because he has flash here, he knows he should be able to outplay the Valkyrie.
And it's kind of crazy that Ruler's stuck around. Valkyrie actually does do a fair bit of damage here, the mini equalizer, as we like to call it. It's so close.
It's a huge problem.
I mean, he's 50 CS up, 2.5k gold. Like, it is absolutely the entire gold lead. I mean, 1.8k, not going to finish anything off or anything like that. As Viper is dead yet again, Ruler is going to lock that one down.
Big greedy there.
Yeah, sometimes there's a Wukong.
Light's here with exhaust. If he can close the gap to that turret.
Yeah, the Bash brothers are coming in, and they've now got a Pigeon as backup. In goes Duro, looking for that angle onto Zeka. He is pretty slippery as Delight gets in there. There's the exhaust down, and Canyon just has to get the heck out of there. Thankfully for him, Duro was tanking the turret, but Canyon still may not be out of the woods just yet as Zeus is moving his way in. The flash is going to be used, even if that charm wasn't necessarily going to land, and Peanut just drives the Rift Herald into this outer turret. The amount of extra pressure HLE has this game is just kind of
close the gap and have some additional safety, which she needs so desperately. Chovy is going to get this turret. Life need to rotate in. Zeka has TP, but they're so slow on this.
Yep, and Keen has gone full economy mode. All the money is going to Ruler and to Chovy. Is now, let's see whether this team fight is going to work. The equalizer going down very early on in this fight, but Keen in that circle, feeling pretty good about it. There is going to be the Keeper's Verdict that gets rid of this Azir, but into the backline goes Duro, charms everyone up as the equalizer. Sorry, the shove finds nothing at all. Chovy missing a button entirely, just breaking my brain, but it doesn't actually matter. It's 3 for nothing there from Gen.G.
Duro saves it. Keen does the most damage in the team fight. He was the one that...
next potential battle, but the problem is 2.1k, the gold advantage, and like, I don't know, man. I feel like Keen is like a new car. It's like even the economy mode on this car is still way better than any one of the cars I've ever owned.
No, I know. It's crazy how much
he's decided we're actually committing to this fight, right? And I think that level of coordination is what HLE were missing in that last fight, and hopefully they hold on to in the next one, as Duro is just going to knock up Peanut. Quickness is going to come on through there as Peanut is going so low. Has to flash as the rocket belly. Not long enough to pick up the kill onto the Poppy. And we were saying...
Redemption!
Oh, the redemption kill from Duro! Oh, no!
Oh, man, this redemption sniping has actually become a thing this week in LCK.
Yeah, it really
Everyone's building it. It's got such immense range, so you can just snipe people. And that's Otacon. Like, there's just no way you can stop it. Keen has TP.
We said the only answer that they have to Gen.G team fighting is Poppy. And
well,
Poppy's
they don't have it anymore. And, like, Keen Doesn't even have to show up here, but he can with teleport. He gets a whole turret before.
Well, Chovy just going to divide Zeka away from this one. Is able to shift the sands correctly this time around, but I don't think he's getting out of it, and that is going to be a kill going over to Viper. That is a big deal. Lots of money. But the Otacon is still dead.
They may not need to try to force to get more here. I just don't know if they have the tools to do so. Zeka's going to have to go super deep if they want to. Looks like they're just going to get a turret, but this is not a trade up. And you can see the petals here.
Yeah, they deny Cloud Soul. There is at least that. But just one Cloud Drake. This is the power of the soul, right?
But Ruler's going to get inner here as well in return. Every choice you make on the Rift when you're behind means that the enemy team, if they just realize where your bodies are, will be able to get a better, arguably, cross map. And that's what Ruler's going to get on top of the Otacon they just picked up. This was a bit opportunistic from Chovy, as we're going to, before that, talk about Peanut getting caught here. And this Corki does so much damage. And he's going to look for the snipe, by the way. Let's watch this. Knows exactly where he is.
Oh, man.
And he said it before. The problem is, like, can he fight, though? Like,
yeah.
will he get a chance to properly fight? Like, he's had so many... he had a huge lead early, right? He's had so many angles. He had his first item first, but if he doesn't get to 5v5 team fight...
Natural laning leads, largely from Chovy, that really never made it feel like they were able to run away with it, as Peanut is just taking damage for free, not even allowed to enter his own jungle as Chovy moves over, looking for this Poppy. One more auto would have done it as the equalizer comes through to block off Canyon to try and join this fight, but unfortunately, Delight's just dead.
That was not really... I mean, this is what happens. Is not fed. She's still got 2 items. She still does a lot of damage. That Baron is just dead.
Yep.
And they have bullied Peanut.
Fortunately, it's not enough of a checkmate to stop like Gwen Azir on the follow-up with an Aurora Band. And then the Wukong being available is just kind of nuts, as Zeus is just dead to Ruler as well. He is collecting like you would not believe.
It's so strong in this comp.
It's ridiculous. And Delight is likely to be dead, but Keen is probably going to do the same thing, and never mind, Delight will survive. Another cheeky little kill going over to Viper there. But it's kind of a drop in the bucket, unfortunately.
Yeah, the timing, too, isn't really going to be something that Hanwha eSports can utilize here. I mean, they're facing Baron. Like, the fact that this trade is here, it doesn't mean they get to just walk over and take Dragon with a faster respawn for Zeus or anything like that. It just isn't really going to be advantageous for them. It's a misstep for Gen.G, but that's it, and Keen can just teleport in.
Ruler is so far ahead as Duro able to dash his way out. Yeah, Ruler just doing $1.5 billion damage there to the cow that doesn't have the unbreakable will. A double kill comes through here as Ruler is like, is it Penta time?
Because, like, Ruler can't, like, no one can kill Ruler. Because if you try to get close enough to him as Ahri, you're going to get ulted. Like, there's so many tools to peel. Wukong is there. The Rakan is there. Viper can't hit anybody. Like, Ruler was only, like, 1,000 gold ahead moments ago. Now he's 2,000 gold ahead. He doesn't have, like, that big of a spike ahead of the Viper's items here. But he has that collector. He has all that extra lethality damage. He does so much, and he can free hit because no one can get close to him.
Nexus turrets are just going down. In goes Canyon looking for an opportunity. That is a dead monkey. I swear the Rumble just came back to life, but
the shies away from it, but even he has picked up a little bit more recently. It's just such a safe pick if you're in the right hands of a very skilled AD carry. And it's also really good if you... Ezreal is so oppressive when you have a matchup like this where you just outrange, because your support can just set up your Qs, and that's what we're seeing here is Canyon's going to show up at level 4. Delight, half health, has to heal.
Yep, heal going to come through immediately as there is the Eclipse. They do just decide to go in on the Leona, though, and that was after it wore off. Duro tanks the turret absolutely beautifully. And Viper just...
Ruler just generating a bigger lead here, and we've seen in so many of these games what he can do with even a small lead.
Yeah, this is the problem, though, because we need POM to go to Duro.
I know.
And that's going to be more and more difficult unless he can make something happen here. There it is, Keen picking up the second kill for Gen.G.
Justice for supports.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's Ruler happily pushing wave after wave into Zeus. Fair bit of extra damage there as Duro does make his way back down again. Shattering Strike going to connect, but Zeus still able to get the cannon minion.
Just Shattering Strike and then Ruler Qs, like every time. Ruler also just hits all of his Qs anyways, but...
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't even need you to be here, Duro. Like, what are you doing? Well, Canyon's gonna dive.
Yeah, they're looking for the angle here. Public execution might actually just be Zeus as it's Ruler walking on past the turret. The last minion does go down. And does he have the Arcane Shift? The answer is he does not need it. As Delight turns up and he's like, well, what am I supposed to do now?
Legend group to correct myself, because you generate a small lead in a lane, especially the bottom lane, and then you just play through it. And all 3 of these 80 carries, and like all 3 supports as well, will just bowl you over. Does not miss, man.
Yeah, just walks on past him.
Like Zeus is trying to sidestep, he's like, I'll just auto you.
Well, now we've got a cease and desist onto Canyon. He's got the Crescent Guard, but unfortunately everyone's in melee range, so he is just dead. 1 kill on the board here for HLE. No more perfect game for Gen.G this time, as True Shot Barrage does find a bit of damage onto Peanut. These grubs under fire. HLE will be able to lock down the second one as Arcane Shift out there from Ruler. Does miss that Mystic Shot onto Viper though, and now Peanut will be able to secure the third one. So there's something. Immediately, 4 members towards his top side as we do have the Aurora rotating up as well. As Chovy going to get there, they can just Realm Warp underneath this turret. That is going to allow them to defend. 4-man strong. Cleanse comes out from Viper as the Rune Prison comes in.
The whole time, Ruler is getting a whole turret, by the way. Like, single plate gold going over to him.
Keep him busy, guys.
Yeah.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. We are so close to September. It has to be the case.
Yeah, just a few weeks away.
Yep. Zeus having to deal with the goalie wall once again, but Keen now in trouble as Peanut turns up. A cheeky little punch towards the goalie wall as the Maiden was actually being very annoying to Zeus as Keen keeps himself alive for a lot longer than I think a lot of us expected, but still will be going down.
Oh, look at where Zeka's like, okay, well, they're going to come get me. They want this first turret so badly. They're on Dragon. Like, do I have time? You can see he was like, not sure. Can I defend this? And they're going to try to rush the light over, but he's just going to have to leave.
Yep, there's
they're racing for
fire
it,
that
though.
I was talking about. That's fantastic. Zeka does do a little bit of damage to Duro, but he's pretty durable.
So close.
Oh, who's going to be able to get it here? As it does go over to HLE.
That's massive, actually.
Yeah, only cowards don't just press R on a potentially occupied brush. And now Keen doesn't know that there is no ult. So he's going to be like, why isn't he ulting me as they put him in the goal? I mean, Keen is really dead. Peanut is going to take a little bit of damage, but otherwise not too much to worry about. Down he will go. Meanwhile, Delight could be in a bit of trouble here. Featherstorm comes out as Duro could also be getting amongst it. True Shot Barrage is going to connect, but it's actually Canyon that takes down the Leona. So it's a very Rise group. Maybe you were just foreshadowing.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. As Chovy, you got to be careful, man.
Yep, he does have Flash, and he is going to use it, but the flash forward from Zeus to follow is going to mean another dead Rise, and this 1-2 punch.
Going to kill Herald, and they can try to turn off of this, as there is a TP for Zeka as well. He's going to use it right away.
Yep, Canyon going to dive in, as Peanut also immediately throws down the ulti onto the Xin Zhao. Public Execution connects onto him as well, but Canyon was surviving for such a long time, but still, these health bars are melting! Ruler has to get over the wall, as unfortunately, Duro not going to be able to do anything here, and the Rift Herald does go over at the same time. It's picked up by Zeka of all people.
A larger swing of gold now for the side of Hanwha Life, and they may even be able to get an additional charge here with the late respawns. They'll think better of it. They'll decide to just let it go through. Light comes in and helps Peel. Look at Viper, just free hitting, taking Keen out, and Ruler has to get out of the pit.
Oh dear. Well, Chovy is between some worlds, as we can see, trying to phase rush his way out. We'll see whether that will allow him to escape, and I think the answer is it just won't. As Death is a pretty good form of CC.
Yeah,
pretty good for giving some extra information over to Gen.G, but it will just allow them to be spectators.
I mean, look at Zeus. He's like, are they going to try something here? And he's like, oh, I guess not.
Nope. He just Herald is going to get started up. Immediately is spotted here by Gen.G, who are in the vicinity of this one.
There's that TP from Chovy, but he's late.
Yeah, a lot of buttons available here. Shield of Daybreak does come on through, and down goes the Rise! Oh man, welcome to the party, Chovy. Maybe you didn't really want to be here. As Canyon will see whether he can actually be in position to get a smite down as the feathers are in position. Canyon gets on in. There is a great Crescent Guard, but Peanut finds the smite this time around the goalie wall. Actually getting some work done as Delight still keeping himself alive. And yeah, Ruler is doing a fair bit of damage, but unfortunately it's not quite meaningful, and Zeka finds the back line. Ruler Arcane shifting to try and escape, and unfortunately even with all that damage, he is still dead. A clean ace for HLE.
It looks like HLE are primed.
HLE probably
Chovy dead again, question mark?
Yeah, Zeus is going to chase after him. There's a public execution. And Chovy just going to see whether he can Realm Warp his way out, and he does manage to do so. Very, very nicely done.
That's pretty big for Hanwha Life. Just with that alone, the Rise can't show up. And there's no cross-map opportunity. Well, that was, frankly, a little bit close for comfort.
Ignore the CS numbers. I don't think that's super relevant here, as Zeka now finally does have a gold advantage despite it. As Peanut possible engage option, but the Solar Flare going to be avoided by Ruler. Cease and desist does come in, and the exhaust is down as well. Chovy moves over, wants to do some of the damage, and Ruler stays alive for quite some time. Still, it doesn't matter. The bottom lane is still obliterated, and Keen a little late to the party.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much fancy footwork you've got, doesn't matter how quick he does have flash, but I don't know if he really wants to risk it for this one, and Zeka's just going to check just in case. Realm Warp?
It is a Realm Warp opportunity, as Canyon's like, nah, brother, I don't really feel like doing that. They do dive in on top of Zeka. They find the Aurora. It's a lot of damage as Peanut likely to get wiped out, and there's a teleport back in from Duro, but now Viper has found his target. The triple kill as soon as he flashes over. And Delight is now just keeping this Baron interested. Duro doesn't have a smite at the ready or any funny business like that, so it will just be the Baron secured. Delight almost falling, but does have the Eclipse.
That situation was so funny.
And just doesn't get the information that he wants to be able to actually use it for what it was designed for. As Zeka just wanders past this turret and says, no, Gen.G, this is ours. And it absolutely is.
And Chovy gets a little bit of push on the top side, but here's an engage.
Yeah, Magnustorm to come on through there. As a public execution down on just Duro is not something that Duro really cares about. Let's see whether Zeus can survive. That's 11 dashes that he's used so far. Rune Prison not going to be dashed out of this time around though, as Gen.G I think should be able to take that one. Still Cease and desist.
Wait a minute.
Does come on through. There's Between Worlds as Ruler desperately trying to keep himself alive, but it does not work. Down goes the Ezreal. Peanut survives for just about forever. And Chovy's like, all right, well, I guess that's enough work that I've done here today as HLE clean up the rest.
Yeah, Freak's like, all right, I'm removing that item from the game. That Sundered Sky procs he's getting in that fight, he's so fed. He has Sterex, and he's just like, I can go on this, by the way. And the rest of the team follows up. Zeka's got his ult. And Hanwha Life turned what looked like maybe a good catch from Gen.G into a potential team fight win into a complete wash. Chovy lives, but I don't think he alone will be able to stop these inhibitors from being ripped off the map. And Hanwha Life with Baron for 45 seconds more could get even more if anyone from Gen.G steps too far over the line here. And they're angling for it. They can get just a single kill. They could end, but they don't have to. They'll be happy with the 2 inhibs. Come up empty, let's say. It's gotten him out of a few sticky situations. It hasn't really given him too many proactive wins. They had like the turret defense topside with it as well, but they've just been behind the 8-ball for all of this game, and that's not where Arise wants to be.
And as you can see in this gold graph as well, it has been all HLE ever since the mid-game. Have grabbed control and they have not given it up. And it's for Viper, who does have a cheeky Last Whisper as well as those first 3 items. This Xayah is so frightening. 2 levels ahead as well as Solar Flare going to just connect on the edge towards Canyon. Otherwise, not too much more going to happen. There's the engage onto Delight. But he is so deceptively tanky, it's ludicrous. Takes down Canyon. Peanut able to grab kill credit for that. And now Gen.G down a member. Let's see what can happen here. Oh my goodness, it's a blender. Into the bloodbath they go as Viper free hitting, takes down the Yorick. And it's another kill for Peanut there at the same time. Chovy just watching as his Nexus turrets get obliterated. Let's see what he can do. I don't think it's anything at all. Instead, they're going to be preparing for a Game 3 against HLE here in the Legend Group. And maybe there's finally a new contender for that top 3 spot.
This is
such
so
good synergy as well, so it does make some sense.
I thought about it for a moment as well, but it just isn't going to come to pass in this one. The Aatrox is a really cool... That's the questions that we do have for what this Karma will do later on. It's doing what it's supposed to do in lane very well as Zeus takes a turret shot.
Oh, the Aurora the Slayer is going to connect there as well, and the world has ended, but has it ended for Zeus, or will it end for one of the others? And the answer is Zeus gets out, does have to use the flash. No ulti, no flash.
Yeah, that's a pretty big win. But at the end of the day, just hoping for a little bit more there. Peanut will in return. Thank you, prompter person.
Yeah, whoever is prompting us, we care about you. All right, Zeus going to get knocked off once again. If at first you don't succeed, guys, you try, and you try again. As Canyon grabs himself the kill, Keen was just uninterested. A Scion does not need kills. We're not the same as the ones that I played.
Oh yeah, what'd you play?
I can't tell you, because I just can't talk about it. As that is going to be Canyon locking down the smite this time around, as nice spell shield there from Viper is going to make Keen's life considerably worse. But still, that is going to be the Drake secured by Gen.G.
Of course, but Still, it's going to be one of those Ocean Souls where you don't just roll your eyes at it. It's still going to be some value. Keen has been the target for so long.
Yeah, it doesn't have flash. So this Cataclysm just doing a whole lot of work. Gets stunned up, or snared at least, by the Karma. And so that means that Keen is just going to be turned into a zombie. Nothing not super happy about the Sunfire Cape and the Bramble Vest that Keen has built up, which is certainly helping Keen. Still, I mean, Zeus' Aatrox does deal with tanks relatively well. That's why he was picked. It's Peanut going to turn up. Finds Duro as the Winter's Bite is going to miss. Taunt to come through. Interruption there from Duro, but it's not going to interrupt his death. That is going to be secured. And just one more necessary for HLE.
Duro was just way out of position, got caught.
Well, Chovy, let's see how the Satchel's going to do. Interrupts. As Flag and Drag going to be a league. Mega Inferno Bomb, massive damage. There's the knockup from Keen. And Canyon brings down the stars to take out the jungler. Peanut thinking better of that one. Man, Chovy's
ready for it, for what these team fights are going to look like later on, because he is the primary target. Zeus is going to get a whole turret as well after the side. He doesn't need a TP or anything right now. He's sitting pretty. Gen.G will also get the Herald, so they're
this game is taken.
So cool. It's hard for them to actually stop this, though, because the Herald alone isn't necessarily going to be enough.
Peanut is taking a very long time to do this. And Canyon is now moving in as best he can. Viper will be able to deal with this Rift Herald as Zeus is moving in as well. Gen.G bring themselves over as Delight is taking the Scion for a walk. Zeka gets behind this Dragon as Canyon dives in on top of Peanut. He's deciding not to pull the trigger, but the Mega Inferno Bomb is just eaten by Zeka. Zeus now off to the side. There's the Spell Shield from Viper doing all of the work. As Canyon puts up the door. There goes the Drake as Peanut is lying on the floor. Ruler is now free to dash around this fight wherever he wants, and Canyon just gets on top of Zeus. He's forced underneath this just barely alive outer turret, and Gen.G, they'll pick up the feats of strength and also deny that second dragon for HLE and win the fight.
Yeah, and they should be able to grab this turret right away as well. Ruler will take this one out, so more money. Chovy going to get the Satchel explode on this bottom turret, so double turrets off of this, and suddenly it's a swing of 3.
There is just nothing that HLE can see. They've just used their Scryer, but look at this. Keen is a brick wall, just standing in front, denying entry here for HLE as Ruler and Canyon are looking to finish this one off. There's the Mega Inferno Bomb as Viper eats it with a Spell Shield, but Peanut not so lucky. Zeus getting on over, but he doesn't have Smite, so he's not going to be stopping this from going down. The interruption! No justice for you, Zeka, as Ruler will get his fangs in and finds the Gargoyle. Now Viper needing to get himself out with a cleanse, and honestly, Viper has played it about as well as he can, but unfortunately everyone around him has just fallen.
Yeah, just too massive. So much pride on that Otacon. It was not a risk to them at all to take it.
Oh man,
Ruler?
Maybe? Okay, Ruler.
Maybe this time.
Yeah, the Flag and Drag is going to be able to pick him up. Let's see whether he can get out of this Cataclysm as the Mega Inferno Bomb comes down. Viper in so much trouble. Ruler, he flashes and gets the 1-for-1. Kill goes over to Delight as well to add insult to injury as immediately down goes the Karma. Duro going to be able to slow up Peanut here, and Gen.G, I think they're just starting to run away with it as Peanut might, never mind, no Flag and Drag for you. It's a bouncy bomb instead,
so
and he didn't like it.
Did Ruler just skip this for support?
No,
is that what just happened?
No. It's Keen Palm.
The Keen Palm is kind of a cute angle. I'm gonna like entertain it for a minute.
I reckon we should entertain it.
Yeah,
it seems entertaining to me because I don't think it's not Duro anymore.
No, it's
that's the rough part.
Watch Lucian, or Ruler rather, playing Lucian in this first person. By the way, does not flash this Cataclysm. By the way, only flashes at the very end to secure the kill.
Yeah,
Duro, hold on, sets up potentially. Boom.
Look at Keen. Stands in Brush Channel's Q.
Yeah, but I don't know. Duro set that up. Maybe he is Palm.
He did. He also pressed
He's
Q.
realized that if he has a Magi's, it's unlikely to get fully stacked, but if he keeps the Dark Seal, it's full stacks.
Hey, that's true.
He's a kind of...
They capped out.
But, you know, in these comps for Hanwha Life, you want to try to collapse and punish. Chovy is the target.
Cataclysm immediately flashed out there by Chovy. He wants nothing to do with it. Keen? Will he die? Well, the answer is yes. It'll just take a really long time. Zeus not going to get caught up by those concussive blows. And Keen is just going to be sacrificed.
Well,
I think
how they push up into this Hanwha Life eSports comp is incredibly like Duro.
Yep.
Hello.
Going to get knocked up. Ruler is going to be able to come on over, but the Infernal Chains are going to be there. Still,
I mean,
Winter War not enough.
One more pick like this, and suddenly Hanwha Life can 100% get Baron. I mean, Keen does have TP, and he's up in 10 seconds, so I don't think they can do it this time, but You really got to be careful, Gen.G. You have a massive lead, but all it takes is just one little Jarvan flag, and suddenly Hanwha eSports could get right back in the game.
Oh, Canyon and Chovy feeling like they have an angle here, as Peanut is going to get spotted.
That's viable, even, you know, 5,000 gold down if they get the right target. Delight!
Oh dear. He's going to have to flash immediately. Zeus is on a flank angle as they do just destroy the Karma. Peanut next on the menu. He is going to be able to drag his way out as a redemption to keep him up as Ruler going aggressive. One more time between turrets, and he's feeling good about it. Zeus trying to get himself into the backline. A big taunt from Zeko, but Ruler is still just fine. Just pursues his way out. And Viper gets flashed on, stabbed in the back by Canyon. And this game may not even make it to a soul. Gen.G might just put them in the ground right here.
No Baron required. And I hate to say it for Duro, but I think Ruler is going to get most people's votes again.
My vote that I don't have is for Keen, though.
This is one cannon minion actually gets turret aggro.
Oh, survives that? Look at the guy. Calculated. Using his whole health bar. Mega Inferno Bomb. Boom goes the dynamite, and down goes Delight. HLE, they do. It is going to be picked up here.
You know, a lot of players have those crazy highlight reels, like mad movie types, like montages.
Yeah.
I think Barrel...
but they just have nothing in terms of priority anywhere.
And then Croco just comes over this dragon. He's like, we can't do it. Yeah, it's not going to happen.
I think that's the right call, as DK with about a 200 gold lead at this point in time.
Yeah,
and he does.
I think that's
one grub taken.
That's probably enough to say that's all we are going to get, and we're very happy with that.
Yep.
We do not want to fight until level 6 Wukong.
That was breath here from Shu, but Morgan is winning these trades pretty handily. Finds that Flame Spitter once again. Needs to hit a few more of these harpoons, and as I say it, cast a blessing.
There have just been so many changes of form. Like, it's crazy, especially in the right.
Certainly is, especially when he's playing baseball with that skin. It's not, I thought it was Truncheon, Trundle. It's not, so I got the wrong skin. Can't make the reference. Such a shame.
This is a really tough contest here for Dplus with Showmaker just unable to enter, and I think they're just going to have to give this up. Maybe Lucid goes for the Smite Steal.
Well, Lucid is just going to walk on over. There's a Magnus Storm onto 2, though. Going to need to try and subjugate to get himself out as Beryl magically journeys him to safety.
Aiming, not even going to go for the Q steal.
Well, it's going to go for some sort of Q. That is a nice little cosmic finding here as Aiming still looking for a little bit of an angle. Hype is going to get separated. Boomerang Blade value is pretty big, but Polu does manage to sidestep it there in that little mini alcove.
That was a really risky...
So we're going to make that one happen. All right, DK and Bro, let's sort that one out. Next Drake going to be 2 minutes time, but the Herald might be what we're fighting for next. No, Morgan. No, Morgan. Oh, he gets hit by both parts. In fact, he gets hit by everything. And then First Blood goes over to Lucid. So we're not going to be breaking that record, but DK getting themselves on the board.
Stop this turret from going down. Like I said, he could TP to the bottom side of the map if they want to contest that dragon, but the Herald is the bigger prize. And that's why we're just not seeing that much focus on the dragon itself right now. A lot of deep vision here for Dplus on the entry points of the Herald.
Exhaust. Yeah, going to be able to use that spell shield really nicely. Gets the flash out with the Tempered Fate. Really nicely done there by Beryl, who's also ghosting around because he wants to. We're just trading.
Yeah, they are eventually just not engaged anymore. It's just simply time to let the Herald go, which might mean letting your mid turret go. Top turret already went down, and they are ready to drop this. You have to imagine with the Sivir that they have in hand.
Yeah, so there it is.
Like almost at the exact...
But and yeah, this turret is down pretty low with the spare time that Showmaker had. Gonna be feeling all right. Throws a bear this on. Yeah, Croco gonna see what he can do. Let's see whether they can interrupt. The Ram is just not really going to work out there, and the Cyclone's going to come on through. Croco making sure work of this one. Shiu looking a little silly on that bottom side, but the kills now equalized. And this turret is definitely dead. DK, even though they lose their top laner, I think this is a decent cross map.
Yeah, 100%. And they're even going to get a second charge here on the mid turret or the mid inner, and I think it's gone. Dead. Yeah.
And Showmaker is also putting on so much pressure towards Morgan here as well. It's almost as if Bro don't have a top laner at the same time.
And they almost get 3 turrets here, or 3 charges
on the hunt from Aiming. Like they like the fastest of rotation.
I mean, take and turn for the Otacon.
Polu gonna get bitten. Oh my goodness. Lucid doing a lot of damage. There's the Tempered Fate to hold Polu in place. Still doesn't have his flash back up and available, but he's not gonna get stunned still. He's just taking so much damage. Shockwave pops the horse pants lady. And DK, is this enough for
entry?
Otacon?
And oh, look at this angle from Lucid. They're just threatening the idea of an Otacon, and that enough is enough to get Croco interested. He's exhausted.
Yep, everything's exhausted about Croco as the pillar does go down. Lucid turns up, the closer is there for a fair bit of damage back. Subjugate helping keep Lucid healthy, but the flash out from Croco going to be enough there. Good Cosmic Binding out of Beryl at the same time, but no one going to fall just yet on the Bros side, but their health bar is looking a little worse for wear outside of Hype moving his way in.
Dplus losing a lot of health on Lucid means he's going to have to back here, and I don't think they can do this Otacon. Hype is 5 million miles away from anything. I don't know if Bros should engage without him. They need a little bit more time.
They're just going to bypass the Otacon. That's going to be their way into this one. As you can see, this brush full of vision now as DK holding on. Xiu pulls out the ram. Let's see where it goes. Gets a nice double knock-up to deny Polu the re-engage. They're looking to try and burst this, but look at Otacon. It's getting so angry. The redemption value's massive, but they cannot answer this objective. And the Cosmic Binding catches Croco. Oh, man. And now Lucid just able to walk in and chomp down Polu. He's separated from the rest of the flock. And down he will go. Pizza Warfare coming as well, but Lucid's oversteps the explosion of damage as the equalizer comes down. And that is going to equalize the kills in the fight, as well as Beryl trying to keep Croco interested. And he does do that. Xiu now trying to run away, and Showmaker just chases down the monkey. Aiming is fighting Otacon. This game's so weird. It is so weird, but the pros come out on top, and they are going to pick up the Otacon as well.
Atlas, the beginning, Beryl's tempered fate, but then like, they just split like they were feared in 5 directions once the initial play happened. Like
instead, we're taking it Northern. Still a decent gold lead here for DK as Showmaker flashes out of the way of Tibbers. And now the re-engage to come through. Xiu finds the double knock-up. Hype is just dead before you can really do anything about it. Morgan's going to show up to try and save the rest of the Bros. But unfortunately, they're now without their AD carry. That is so much of the consistent damage now missing as DK. Are you brave enough to stop? Yes, of course they are.
I mean, Hype is just not going to be able to get here. He's down for 30 seconds. Closer, need to see a big Tibbers if Bro's going to be able to stop this.
Well, the turn, they're looking for it here as Closer. Shockwave connects onto 2. Equalizer to try and answer as Magnastorm holds them in place, but this time the Subjugate did manage to come through. Polu, though, is still able to burn down the Trundle, and the Bros, despite losing Hype immediately, still win the fight.
Spot him, but he still has that flank angle.
Yeah. Beryl has that tempered fate, but look at, yeah, you're right. Polu getting ready. Will the turn be there for DK as Closer possibly in trouble? There's the Molten Edge done for aiming as well. A lot of extra money. Polu going to move over that control ward, looking for the back line. They look to take him out immediately as he gets a Magnastorm, but unfortunately, it doesn't really do too much. Xiu calls in the Ram and holds off Hype for now, but the Cyclone has now come on through. Croco getting so much work done. Xiu going to be the first to go down as aiming, fighting against this Corki, and he'll lose as Morgan uses his whole health bar to allow the Bros to go even in the fight, but also, I believe
he's gaming. And unfortunately for aiming, he just has not been set up. He was a little bit maybe too safe in that last fight and got isolated for it, but now Croco looking for another engage. He has flash.
Yep, in goes Croco, finds the Cyclone onto Lucid and Beryl, but doesn't really find too much more. Xiu's going to be here to try and protect his jungler, who flashes over that wall. Knock-up comes through as now they're looking for that re-engage now that Cyclone is on cooldown. But the Ram not going to be coming around this time. The Bear says no. As aiming, what are we doing in the Baron Pit? He's going to be able to flash over that wall as nice guy Beryl is going to stop Polu from taking too much damage from Baron here.
What was that?
It's we like press R buttons and flashing.
Yeah. All right, well, aiming is down his summoners now in the items.
Yeah, and it's not going to be there for long if this Baron is just allowed to go down. There is a control ward in the back of the pit. They're doing it with full information, but honestly, it looks like they don't really care. As now the Bros looking for a re-engage after picking up said Baron. Xiu standing on the equalizer. There's another Cyclone from Croco, finding so much value, and aiming is just wiped from the rift. Croco is even still alive somehow. Showmaker's still up, and Lucid has survived this one, but they took their prize. They got the bottom lane, and the Bros, they are just winning every team fight this game.
I mean, Dplus just can't do it, man. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Like, they have I mean, there was that last fight that we had towards the Baron, not the Baron itself on the turn, where Bro just walked at them, press R buttons, and like, I don't know, they won't be able to respond. And Dplus couldn't, man. And like this time, it's just a really easy take. Like, Loser just walks up. It's so hard to approach when you're behind now as Dplus.
I mean, they got Dragon's Fate. They've got the Call of the Forge God. Let's see whether Shiu can actually find an angle. But there's the Magnus Storm to stop them from doing anything. The Tempered Fate comes down, and the Ram is going to come on through as well. There's a nice double knock-up. Apollo is going to survive. Hype looks for Showmaker and almost just wipes him out with these rockets, and DK are just scattering, aiming. He exploded before I could even see where he was on the map. And yeah, this game one, I think, is just over.
It's just done. They're going to push down the mid lane here. Now, 35 seconds on aiming means they cannot end off of this, but they have essentially won the game. Like, they have Ocean Soul now. I don't think Dplus get a fair fight on Elder. And if anybody dies here before aiming respawns, he's up in 20. Like, they don't have as much wave clear without him as they need. I mean, Showmaker can do a little bit here, but he doesn't have ult.
Yeah, Morgan just gets underneath his turret. Morgan goes golden as well to keep him alive. The Cyclone is ripping through DK, and Shiu unable to stop the onslaught that is Hype's Corki. And the pros will decimate the base of DK. And even though they got to the late game, the composition didn't work.
Survive, it's basically like, okay, we will lose the lane.
Yeah,
but you can't dive us easily. We'll probably trade one back.
We can try and lose gracefully to get.
Showmaker doesn't know.
Yeah, Croco going to move over. Great charm to try and deny some of this extra damage as the flash does come through. But the twisted advance was already there. The sapling, it might just do it. There's the arcane smash. Really nicely done there from Croco. But a little bit disappointing that we didn't have Lucid turning on a dime. Nice little hook there from Polo as Hype going so aggressive. Barrel! Double tap into death, and DK! This is not what we wanted to see.
The Renekton gets pushed out. Similar situation here for Shiu, just in the different way that he can't walk up, as we're going to see a TP straight
he's actually
up here.
Teleporting straight back into the lane.
I mean, he has a Phage. He thinks he can fight this, I suppose, and he can.
Yep, Croco is going to turn up as Beryl. No flash, no chance. And Croco hasn't even done anything yet, and already Beryl is almost dead. They decide it's killing aiming that they're looking for. The flash comes down, and the flash in response from Morgan, as Lucid just wants to get himself the hell out of here. There is no good answer here by DK.
In the 1v2, you win because your jungler's up here when you TP back in. So this happens where Morgan just takes over the game on his signature Renekton, as they decide they want to get aiming here, which is a risky choice, but it pays off. Like, Lucid does finally show up here, and they could have just gone. You mentioned he didn't rotate over. He didn't see it until it was too late, I think, but just has not been able to identify where Croco is and where the pressure points for Bro are, so he's always just a little bit too late to the party. As a result, he's been just hard farming and has a big lead in terms of jungle camps over his opposition.
Showmaker does hit that first item spike as Morgan throws down the ulti just to clear out the wave and will successfully be able to do so, but still aiming getting a fair bit of damage. Forward! The barrier is going to be there for aiming, but he has to flash to get out of the way of this angry, angry crocodile, who now I think knows that he's dead and will just look to clear out the wave. He will successfully do that. Aiming, be careful. You are not the one that's allowed to face check it. And still, he will be able to get the first kill back for DK. But on the other side, it's Shiu making a desperate attempt. Great hook is going to come through here as Shiu gets a big old shield. And Showmaker is turning up. Polu is going to get taken down. And the Ahri is able to dash her way to safety as well. I mean, it's triage, but it's kind of working here for DK.
It's definitely two big wins here for DK. Aiming is also going to be able to shove this wave in. Morgan will be able to TP to the top side, but it means his TP is going to be down. Dragon spawns in 1 minute here. Shiu still able to defend this turret for now.
Yeah, he's trying to, but this turret is going to go down very, very soon. The charm comes through. It's going to connect onto Closer, and Shiu is so huge. There's that Ambassador God that we've been looking for as Hype gets the barrier. But Shiu, I mean, he gets a shield from every skill press. This is a much more broken champion than yours. Down he will go, and DK actually hit a kill lead in this game.
Strike back in this game in a big way, and they're looking for even more here on the push, trying to grab a plate. Down here on the bottom side, Closer very low.
Yeah, well, there's a cease and desist. I don't know about this one, as Closer is not dead. Does have to go back to his soul, but there was only a barrel there as Morgan had TP'd in.
They could have played that so many different ways. Like, Closer's...
Ultra Shot Barrage! Closer is going to survive.
Yeah, he didn't...
never mind.
He didn't sidestep because he knew it wasn't. Going back to this play here from Xiu, though, on the defense, is the sidestep is good on the ultimate there from Showmaker. And then he just dashes through this. The ult there from the Maokai is really not doing anything. And the route onto Hype is massive, and he's just got dashes for days.
Yep. You really are. A mountain, I feel, would be really rough, and a cloud. He wants to be here for the local gold. We'll be able to collect that one as Shelly gets a charge. And aiming is just going to drive her away. All right, can we actually do anything else? The answer is no.
They could have gotten maybe a charge on the top turret, where they have a lot of members up here. Closer going for the 1v1.
Ulti onto Beryl, and Beryl is just dead, guys. I don't know what he was thinking.
Well, he had Showmaker and Lucid nearby, but they were before that, where their nemesis actually defeated them in the finals, but...
Showmaker does have to use his ulti as Lucid comes over, doesn't press R. It's just felt his demise. Croco coming up.
Okay, now maybe, I mean, Croco has ult. They really want to make something on this top side play. It's just not working. Morgan's trying to make something bottom side.
Yeah, and Closer finds the ulti, but the flash out there from Showmaker does mean that it doesn't quite work out. The dominus is there for Morgan, but Xiu just walks it off. Look at this bit. Let's see whether Lucid decides that he wants to start something here, as the anchor is just going to get a Vault Breaker. Teleport to come forward from Morgan, though, as he's making his way down. The Nature's Grasp does come in, as aiming does get cleansed, but... Closer gonna get caught there by the cease and desist, as Xiu now, deep in this backline, finds the ulti to get himself right in amongst it, but I don't know whether that's where he wants to be, and he will go down. Meanwhile, the health bars are getting so low. Showmaker looks for Closer as he comes back, but then he's in melee range, where the Yone gets wiped out. DK, that was not the team fight we were looking for, as now Lucid running for the hills, and the bros just wanting to clean it up. They get themselves the soul point, and they'll let Beryl and Lucid live for now.
Faster if they want to fight that. And then the Nature's Grasp might close the gap, and Closer snaps back and then turns onto him. Xiu gets a turret at least, but that's Otacon, that's soul point.
But Closer does just use the unbound soul button. Teleport to come in here as Showmaker. I don't know whether this is where he wants to be, but he's got the Spirit Rush. Will get knocked up as Beryl is at least able to soak the culling, but aiming was just in amongst 4 people. He didn't really want to be there, as there's the public execution. Xiu able to keep himself alive, but unfortunately Showmaker is just dead. And I think the bro wallets are looking so good. They are okay, they are saving, and the bank of bro is just winning, looking to grab themselves this Baron as well.
And man, there's been a lot of credit given to Duke for some of the change-ups in drafts we've been seeing for bro. Fan there as well, giving him a shout out. But this is... Who else was bro predators? Was it? Oh, we have a pause. We got time to talk about it. I think it was me, Dagon, probably some on the KR. No, he didn't. He double broed. I think Closer popped off too hard and pulled his headset cable out. That's what happened.
Well, that's... if there's any time to do it, honestly, probably didn't even need his headset cable after this, as we got 1800 gold on the Red Bull Baron power play. Still 2 minutes left for that one. This inner turret, no answer from DK. Showmaker, I believe, managed to get a turret there towards that top side, as he has managed to at least push out that wave. So it's not going to be 3 inhibs off this one.
No, not going to be. But it certainly could be 2, Atlas.
Yeah.
Maybe a Nexus.
Nature's Grasp does come down. Lucid looks for a little bit of an angle, but Closer's already snapped back. The bros pushing up. They've got double siege minions. This tower is not long for the world, as Showmaker now having to use his ulti to get himself back to the fountain. Doesn't find too much value there, and there's also an inhibitor falling in the mid lane at the same time. Morgan getting to work up there as well. And the bros now, I mean, there's what, 3 cannons making their way in.
Yeah.
DK's still with everyone alive.
They have to survive for a minute. I just don't know if they can. So many tools down here for bro, though. They should be careful about overextending. Ooh, nice angle.
Yep, Hook is going to connect there as Polo dives forward. There's the ult out of Closer as well, and instantly Lucid and aiming are on the floor. And it's just a blender for the bros. Beryl's on the Karma. He's in the fountain, just watching as his Nexus gets wiped out. And the bros with a swift 2-0.